Only days after war broke out in 1941, hundreds of Japanese American draftees already in U.S. Army uniform were discharged without explanation other than that it was for the convenience of the government. At the same time, the draft status of every Nisei civilian was changed automatically to aliens ineligible for military service, despite their U.S. citizenship. But in one sector, pragmatism prevailed. A handful of Nisei with a working knowledge of the Japanese language had been in training with a hush-hush school to become combat intelligence specialists. In June of 1942, even as their families were being imprisoned, some of these Nisei specialists were rushed to the Aleutians to help repel a Japanese invasion. They proved to be so valuable that the army brass took notice, and the prison camps were scoured for additional linguists. But so Americanized were the Nisei that only a limited number could meet the army's requirement of fluency. Ironically, the best linguists were largely Kibei, Nisei who had received some of their education in Japan and therefore had been considered to be the most likely to be disloyal. Again, the U.S. Army could not have been more wrong. The Nisei in the Hawaiian National Guard, whose officers were primarily Caucasians, were able to stay in service. They became the 100th Battalion and performed so well in training that the Army accelerated its plans for another unit of Japanese Americans to be designated as the 442nd. Recruiting teams were sent to the WRA camps to sign up volunteers to fill the ranks. Everyone over 17 years of age was required to respond to the same questionnaire to determine their loyalty to the United States. This was a mistake that provoked fear, confusion, and anger. Question 27 asked, "Are you willing to serve in the armed forces of the United States on combat duty wherever ordered?" The detainees, who had experienced little reasonableness from the government, were understandably cautious about what appeared to be an invitation to suicide. Men beyond draft age and women were reluctant to say they were ready to march off into battle. When some cautiously checked the no box, they automatically were classified as of suspected loyalty. Question 28 asked, "Will you swear unqualified allegiance to the United States of America and faithfully defend the United States from any or all attack by foreign or domestic forces, and forswear any form of allegiance or obedience to the Japanese Emperor?" The question sounded suspiciously like a trap. Nisei as citizens suspected that to forswear allegiance to the Japanese Emperor might be interpreted as admission that such allegiance had existed even though none had, and the Issei, barred from American citizenship, feared they would be people without a country if they renounced the only citizenship they possessed. Cautiously, some answered no, and under the questionnaire's inflexible rules, they also became suspect of disloyalty. These people were then segregated to the Tule Lake camp. Because of the limited initial response on the mainland, the Army looked to Hawaii, where there had been no mass imprisonment, to fill out the ranks of the 442nd. When the 442nd Regiment finally joined the 100th Infantry Battalion, they were involved in 25 days of nearly continuous action in rain and raw cold. It was in this battle that the Nisei rescued the Texas Lost Battalion trapped by the Germans, losing more men in the effort than were saved. In all, the 100/442nd paid a terrible price in the Vosges while taking every objective. They suffered 814 casualties, which is 1 out of every 5 men, and included 140 dead. During this bloody 3.5 weeks of action, the 100/442nd won 5 of its 7 presidential unit citations. In all, the 100th and 442nd fought in 7 campaigns in 2 countries. Their members were awarded 18,143 individual decorations. In 2010, the Japanese-American World War II veterans of the 100th Infantry Battalion, the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, and the Military Intelligence Service were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, the most prestigious award given to civilians in the United States.